Live. Well, good evening, Throttle Up Biker Bible Study. How are we doing tonight?
Good.
On this nice, warm, balmy day. We should stay this way. Yeah. Well, it will. What did I read the other day? I read somewhere it was 48 days till the first day of spring, something like that. I don't know. I don't quote me on that. I got excited for half a second, and then went, oh, yeah, but we still have 48 days. Yeah, shoot that groundhog. Do what? 64 Friday? Oh, how awesome is that?
Take off work and do our cookout then.
Yeah, heck yeah. Uh-huh. Ride motorcycles. Oh, well.
I'm an independent contractor, so I'm good.
All right. So, lot of fun going on in here. That's good. That's a good thing. How cool is it you can go to a church on a Wednesday night to hear a Bible study and laugh and giggle and have a good time? That's why one of the things I love about this place, and you people are just cracking me up every time you're here.
You people, ain't no female sheep around here.
Okay. So here we go. We are still riding through the book of Genesis. And I have a question. Well, now I forgot how I was going to phrase it. It was going to be specifically pointed towards you. Listen, we've been reading about all the bonehead things that what are you doing? It's not a spider. No, you're good. Anyway, we've been reading about all the bonehead things that Abraham does, right? Well, guess what? Now we're now. So now we're going to see him come to the end of his life and the legacy that lives on after that. But I want you to think about this. Now, those of you that didn't grow up in church, you may not know this, but for those of us that went to vacation Bible school, right? Right? Father Abraham had only 2 sons. Many sons. How can he have many sons? He only has 2. Well, how can that be? Oh, had many sons. Okay. So you do know it. Very good. Very good.
Oh, there you go. Get in there.
That's right.
Bible school's alive and well.
But tonight, we're going to find out more about those many sons.
Oh, he has more than 2.
That's why I sang the song.
I
Yeah. Father Abraham has many sons. Now, remember this. God promised Abraham many nations through his sons. Right? You're going to find out tonight how many nations that will become. And it will floor you when you start thinking about where these nations are. Okay? That's going to be so much fun. Yes.
Did he have all these kids at this age or like before? Because wasn't
since Sarah died. So he's older than 137. We'll find all that out in chapter 25. That's where we are tonight. Genesis chapter 25. That's where we're going to go. Let me open us up in a word of prayer, and we're going to have some fun. Fun. Heavenly Father, Lord God, I thank you for this group of people right here. These people are just a delight to have in a study where they want to learn and they want to know more about you. And Father God, thank you for this book, Lord, that tells us all about the things that happened so long ago, Father, so that we can understand your love for us today. Father, thank you for those that watch out online. Lord, I ask that you keep your hands around each and all of us as we go through this study, and just keep us moving forward towards you. In Jesus' holy and precious name, amen. So realized real quick that I turned my phone off, so let me see if it's going to connect. If not, it'll be fun trying to get this to work. Oh, it did. Yay. Okay. So at the end of Genesis chapter 24, at the end of 24, starting in verse 62, I'm just going to read this for you. It'll be up on the screen so you can see it. This is 62, so we're going to go from there, okay? All right. That's because my finger hit the button. I apologize. So here we go. So now Isaac had returned from where? Okay. Beer Lahalaroi. Beer Lahalaroi is what Hagar called the place where she and Ishmael had run to, where God came to her and said, "Don't fear, I'll take care of him." Okay, that name comes into play again. That's why yes, Beer Lahalaroi, right? And was dwelling in the Negeb, or in the plain, right? And Isaac went out to meditate in the field toward evening, and he lifted up his eyes, and he saw, behold, there were camels coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes when she saw Isaac, and she got down off of, or dismounted, and then we said that the King James called it lighted off the camel. I can't get that picture out of my head. got a lighter behind his tail. Anyway, and Rebekah lifted up her eyes, got off the camel, and said to the servant, "Who is this man walking into the field to meet us?" The servant said, "It is my master." So she took her veil and covered herself, right? Doing the things she was supposed to do. And the servant told Isaac all the things he had done. Then Isaac brought her into the tent of Sarah, his mother, who has passed away already, right? And he took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. And I point that out because that's very important. This is one of the strongest statements that we have about the personality, or the what do you call it? The character of Isaac. Okay, and she became his wife, and he loved her. So Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Simple enough, right? Good stuff. All right. Now here comes the lessons that there will be a test on. Ready? We're in chapter 25, so up at the top, you'll have to hit the back arrow. And there goes the problem with it. Yep. It doesn't know how to go back. So here's what I do. I hit that arrow, and then it's back. And it loves you now. So chapter 25, verse 1. There's a lot of verses, but here we go. Watch this. 25:1 says, Abraham took another wife. So Sarah's dead. Hagar's gone, right? That was his concubine. Remember, we talked about that. His concubine, his side woman. That's the word for it. That's the word for it, concubine. And you'll hear that word again tonight. So he took this other wife whose name was Keturah. Just wait. The names get better. Here we go.
That's how long after Sarah died.
Okay, it doesn't tell us, but listen to this. Sarah died when he was 137. He lives to 175. Okay, so it's another 38 years. So it's within that time frame. And that time frame is kind of critical when you see what happens. All right, here we go. She bore him, ready? Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, and you'll actually hear that name Midian quite often. As a matter of fact, the most famous is this. Years later, Moses kills an Egyptian. He runs to the land of Midian, which is where this guy creates his kingdom. Okay, so Midian, Ishbak, Shua. Jokshan fathered Sheba and Dedan. That's just one Dedah. Okay, so that's Dedan. So the sons of Dedan were Ashurim, Letushim, Lulim, and the sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, Eldai, And all of these were the children of Keturah, which was the new wife of Abraham, right? Now, I'm going to stress that word wife one more time. That's the wife. Abraham gave all that he had to Isaac. Okay, remember, Abraham is rich. He has many servants. He has herds of cattle. He has lots of camels, right? The oldest servant took 10 of the camels with him, so he's got at least 10 more than that, right? So, he's pretty well off, okay? He gave all of it to Isaac. I need you to stop and remember, at this time in life, in the world history, everything goes to the eldest child.
In more modern times, even as recently as the 1900s, back in Europe,
Right.
they still did that.
What she's saying off camera is they were still doing that in the 1900s in Europe. Yes, that is correct. But I'm stressing it for this reason. Ishmael is the eldest, and he's not. Everything went to Isaac. Why? Did you hear that? That was his concubine's child, Ishmael, not his wife's child, Sarah. Okay? So she's right, but there's more to it than that. What did God promise Abraham? That him and his wife Sarah would have children. Okay? So it's through Isaac, the only child of Sarah, that Abraham was supposed to give away everything in the eyes of God. Absolutely. All that is important as we get through the rest of this, okay? So, but Abraham gave all he had to Isaac. But look at this next line. But the sons of his... Go ahead, say it. Concubines. Okay, whoa. Women. Concubines. Okay, plural. And here's why. Hagar was a concubine. Okay. Abraham's new wife was one and got promoted to the status of his wife. Now, that's not in here, but that's what that has to mean, because it doesn't talk about any other women. It only talks about Keturah and Hagar. Okay, so back to the statement at hand here. It says that. Mm-hmm.
So since she's a
Concubine.
That means that they had a kid before they were married. Or does that just mean they were doing?
We don't know that for sure, because it says the wife bore him sons.
The word concubine means that they are the wife, but they're having children.
Yes.
Okay, because I was about to say I didn't know if that meant they were just physical, or
yes.
if there had to be a kid born.
No.
Okay.
No.
Right,
Correct.
I understand that.
Yeah. Correct. Okay. Good question. That's a good question, though.
Because see, Hagar was a C word, but she had a baby, so I didn't know if to be a C word you had to have a kid before marriage, or
No, it's just extramarital. Let's just put it that way. So
Okay.
But the sons of the concubines, Abram gave gifts, and while he was still living, he sent them away from his son Isaac eastward to the east country. So remember where they are, which is now part of Israel, right? They're at the top of that field, right? The land that he bought, which is past the Negeb, right? So he's in this area, and he gives everything he has to Isaac through a will. It doesn't say that. This is my interpretation of what it means. So my Freddyism says that he wrote out a will, right? Stone tablet and a chisel. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying he gave everything to Isaac. Fine, but he kept some stuff and gave it to these other kids, and then sent them away. Go away, be gone. Yeah, don't just go away mad. Just go away. Right. Okay. She's looking it up now. She wants to see where it is. Yeah. So as you look where Israel is, west of the Jordan River, and you come down south, you'll see the big plain that comes up. That's the Negeb, and then just below that is where they are, right? Which is just outside the Oaks of Mamre.
I think we're down
All right, so where were we? So they sent him to the east country. Number 7. So here we go. These are the days of the years of Abraham's life, 175 years. And that is 175 years like we would determine 175 years to be.
So he didn't get married again.
Keturah. Right.
So close.
Yeah, you did good. Number 8. Abraham breathed his last and died in a good old age. An old man, listen to this term, full of years. Not just because it's 175, but that term in Hebrew meant that he lived a full life, not just a life of someone, trying to get by day. He had a full life. Well, yeah, 2 wives and a concubine and a bunch of sons. Well, yeah, we'll go back to that, yeah. 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 Lots of travel with his sister.
That's when I can't.
Yeah. Okay, so at good old age, full of years. And then this is the statement that trips a lot of people up. And he says, and was gathered to his people. A lot of people think that means that he went back home and died. No, we're going to find out exactly where he died. But that line trips him up. That gathered to his people means that he is with those that he loved, which would be Isaac. And that as he dies, then he's going to be put in with Sarah. That's exactly right. I was getting to that. You did good.
I would die without me knowing?
Not yet, but we'll see in a minute.
He dies this soon?
No, this was years ago. Anyway, so yeah, he does. So listen to this. And gathered to his people, Isaac and Ishmael, his sons, buried him in the cave of the Machpelah, in the field of Ephraim, the son of Zohor, the Hittite, east of Mamre. 10, the field that Abraham purchased from the Hittites. There Abraham was buried with Sarah his wife. So there's no question about where he's at. He did not go home to be with his people. He died right there, and his sons, Isaac and Ishmael. Oh, wait, where's Ishmael been this whole time? Remember, he's not in the picture.
Why didn't the other sons go?
Because he just sent them away.
Oh, yeah.
He sent them to the east country.
My bad.
Okay? Now, Ishmael comes back and helps Isaac bury their dad. Apparently, that is some significant piece of the fight between the Ishmaelites and the Israelites, is because when Ishmael helped bury, he should have got the birthright back. Something somebody's told me, right? I don't have anything about that, but that birthright thing comes up twice tonight. That would be one. It's not written that way, but that's one of the arguments that is told. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Sure you do.
What? Did he send them away because
It doesn't say, and we don't know when he sent them away, but they would have to have been of traveling age, probably teenagers. So probably getting close to the end of his life, but we don't know for sure. We don't know. Well, I think this is once again it's Fred. Remember the way it listed. It says, and he gave everything to Isaac, and then he sent all the others away. I think it's to try to keep them from fighting and arguing, especially if he knows he's about to die. Because when do you see kinfolk the most?
when your dad?
Weddings and funerals, right? Yeah.
My family, they fight at both.
I was going to say my kinfolk go to weddings to find dates, but that's a different story. That's what a buddy of mine in Alabama kept telling me. I don't know, anyways. You just got to love this group. That's exactly right. All right, so then it says, so there Abraham was buried with Sarah his wife. 11, after the death of Abraham, God blessed Isaac his son, and Isaac settled in
Beer love.
Birlaluru, right. You got good. Wait a minute. Didn't we just talk about what that was?
It's a city.
Right. It's a place. A place that means spring. No. During beer. Oh my goodness.
King James is the well.
The well. That's right. The well of Leroy. The well of the one who knows is what that means. That's
How do you get that from that?
it's translation. Yeah. It's the translation. And I didn't mark that on here, that was different. We got more that's coming that's different, but yeah, so well of and Birlalal is the same thing. Yeah, yeah. But it's just the translation of the Hebrew into the English. There's nothing different about it, but the words, when you go back to the Hebrew, means the well of the one who knows. Well, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, today it would. Today it would, absolutely. So where are we? 12? All right, I got to slow down now because I got to catch these. All right, 12. These are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's oldest son. It doesn't say oldest. I'm just telling you. I'm reminding you, right? Whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's servant, bore to Abraham. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael, and catch this next part, named in the order of their birth: Nabioth, the firstborn of Ishmael, and Kedar, Abiel, Mibsam, Misham, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tima. I can't see that. Is that Jutar, Naphish? Jitor, Naphish, and Kedemah. That would be 12.
Nuh-uh. I don't think you counted right. I don't know.
So there's 12 tribes of them too?
Yes. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael, and of their names by their villages and their encampments, 12 princes according to their tribes. So if you look at the Prophet Muhammad and all of the Islamic documents, it counts these as the 12 tribes descended from Abraham. They probably do, but I don't know what they mean. However, I happen to have a little cheat sheet here that shows all of those. It doesn't say in here if Ishmael had one or multiple. However, knowing the way that line of people act, at least today, it would have been multiple. Okay. All right, so here's Abraham and Sarah and Isaac and Jacob, and here's the 12 tribes of Israel. So we're about to get down to those 12 tribes of Israel. But when you look back up here, probably on the other page, you have Abraham's, through Hagar, Ishmael, here they are. Here's the 12 tribes of the Ishmaelites. Y'all can't see this out there online, but just do a Google search for map of Abraham's descendants, and you'll see that.
Did you just say there's 12 over here?
There is. And they're even numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, but look, all those 12 kids from 4 different women. We haven't got there yet. We haven't got there yet. We'll get there. Yeah. So.
Now, who's the daddy?
We haven't got to him yet. Jacob is the answer, but
This says about Isaac or whatever.
well, that's because Isaac has 2 sons. You're about to find out. Hang on, just hang on. I'm loving the fact that you're getting excited because you want to know the next step. It's like a soap opera, isn't it?
Apparently, about 4 women. 12 kids.
And these are the days of the lives that mattered. Absolutely. So where are we? 25, 17. Princes according to the tribes. Then, and my version, the ESV has a parenthesis, open parenthesis, which means it's like an afterthought. Somebody went back and wrote this in. It says, these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. So we jump from Abraham living 175 to Ishmael living 137. Now, the next line is pretty important because it says something different in the King James. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And then he what?
Gave up the ghost.
He gave up the ghost and died, is what the King James says. Okay, when you talk about you'll hear this term nowadays. Oh, he gave up the ghost, meaning he died. So in my version, it just says he breathed his last and died. That's what you see up there. Oh, yeah, I've heard it many, many times. You never heard that? He gave up the ghost? We usually say it about cars when the engine goes out, right?
I only heard that as
Yeah. Well, here it means exactly the same thing. He breathed his last and he died, or he gave up the ghost and he died. Basically, they're physically talking about seeing a spirit leave when they breathe their last. That's why it says gave up the ghost. Right? Yep. It's okay. There's just one in the window right there watching, so it's all right. Yeah. All right. So he gave up the ghost and died, or he breathed his last and died, and was what? Gathered unto his people. Once again, he didn't go back anywhere. He was just with those of his that died. They settled from Havilah to Shur, which is opposite Egypt, in the direction of Assyria. He settled over against all his kinsmen. I have a hard time reading that for some reason. So here we go. So here's the 12 tribes of Ishmael.
Oh, is that who the day is?
Yes. Become the nations of the Arabs. So when you think of everything from Syrians, Lebanese, all of those in that area, and if I get that wrong, I'm sorry, but all of those countries in the east of Israel, yes, that's part of their religion, yes. Yeah. But there's more people than that have a head wrap.
Well, don't
Well, it's okay.
You got Muslim, Hindu,
The Shiites, all that, yeah. Huh? Mm-hmm. But everything east. Now, where does the problems lie with Israel? Everything to the east, right? Remember Ishmael helped bury? We're going to bring that up several times, but okay, so here we go. Now, if that wasn't enough of a story for tonight, now we got to go into the next part, and the next part will just blow you away.
What does it mean he settled over against all his?
He divided up everything. Ishmael divided amongst all of his sons, 12 of them, where they would go and what they would get.
Why don't they say
That means basically the same thing. His people. Yeah. But Ishmael died at 137. Okay, where have we heard that number before? That's how old Abraham was when Sarah died. 100.
Oh, I was about to say 99. Okay, so that's how she was 90.
Yes, she was 90 when Isaac was born. Correct.
You got with his mom for the test on this stuff.
All right, so now all the Ishmaelites are gone. They're out in their eastern countries, and now we get back to this story. So let's jump back a page here to verse 19. This says, "These are the generations of Isaac." So now we're done with Ishmael. All of his people are done gone, right? These are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham fathered Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean. What does it say? Syrian, right. In mine it says Aramean of Paddan Aram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian, let's just go with that, to be his wife. Stop. How old is Isaac when he takes Rebekah? It's 40. Okay. Remember that. But there's a reason. There's always a reason things are pointed out. That's what I keep telling you guys. Whenever a name is given, whenever something is pointed out, you got to remember, because we have to come back to that and remember, right? That's why I asked about the 137, okay? So here we go. Here we go. So he's married Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, right, the sister of Laban, to be his wife. 21, and Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife. And in King James it says, it entreated the Lord, right? That means the same thing. Entreated and prayed for is the same thing. We're good with that, right? All right, so he prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren.
What is up with these guys and
Okay,
that are barren?
Isaac was born to a barren.
Like, he followed in his daddy's footsteps.
Okay, God's plan was to take these barren women and give them to specific men. You got to keep up with it. You got to keep up with it. Yeah, God's plan. Oh, just wait till we get to Esau. Ooh, then
Who's Esau?
we'll see in a minute. So Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord granted his prayer, or entreated of him. Right, granted his prayer. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. She's going to have a child, right? Yeah, it's about time. Now, he's 40. We don't know how old she is, right? But then it says the children struggle to get. Wait a minute. How did we go from being barren to having children?
Oh, my, she got 4 in there.
Two.
She got twins. Oh, first time in history, twins.
No.
No?
We talked about Cain and Abel were probably
Oh,
twins.
yeah,
We
they
don't know.
killed each other.
Right, right.
Just murder.
Yeah.
Just
Just one murderer, one martyr. So anyway, so the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it is thus, why is this happening to me? I've been barren all my life, and now I got kids, and they're duking it out.
I could just picture it.
Right?
Come on, boy.
You're not far off. You're not far
They
off.
were punching each other.
And here's why. So she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said this to her. And the Lord said to her, 2 nations are in your womb. Here we go again with the nations thing, right? 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples from within you shall be divided. They're all, yes, they are. Yes, they are. The one shall be stronger than the other. The older shall serve the younger.
So we know who the stronger one is.
Which one?
Who's younger.
Not necessarily. You can jump to that conclusion if you wish.
Jumping.
Okay. So remember, Abraham had 2 sons, Isaac and Ishmael and Isaac, right? And they're going to fight for all of eternity. And now, one of the sons of Isaac
He's beating the other one up.
is beating up the other one, still in the womb. Okay?
Oh, my God. You're in trouble.
So you gotta stay focused outward so you can see the whole picture, right? So they're duking it out, as she says, in the womb. So 24, when her days to give birth were completed, behold, there were twins in the womb.
There were. Oh,
Right.
no. Did they get rid of each other?
No.
They
Got
born.
born.
They got born,
Well,
right?
the way it made it sound.
Now check this out. And the first one came out red.
The body of
No, the whole kid came out red. Now, let me read it. I'm going to read it from the King James first, because it says, came out red all over like an hairy garment. That's bad English. It's a hairy garment, not an hairy garment. I'm just kidding. It's just one of those things that always trip me up. In front of an H, it's okay to have an N after an A. It's just one of those. I don't know. It just bugs me. And hairy garment. Oh, so over here in my version, it says, when her days of birth, twins, the first came out all red, all his body like a hairy cloak. And it says hairy garment in the King James. Okay, so this baby comes out a red hairy mess. Yeah, born a werewolf. That's good.
I've never seen a red werewolf yet.
Ow, werewolves of Bereshila.
Clifford.
But yeah, right, Clifford. Okay, so that's the first one that's born, right? That's the first one. The first one came out of the body like a hairy cloak. So they called his name Esau.
Why? What does Esau mean?
Hairy red. The name Esau literally means hairy or red. Sorry. Oh, you made me choke on that one. But wait, we're not done. 26, is it 26? Afterward, his, Esau, brother, came out with his hand holding Esau's heel.
That's the one that's trying to be so mean in the womb.
That's the one that's trying to be so mean in the
That's
womb.
one that was punching.
Okay, now watch this. Watch this. Ready? So his name was called Jacob, which means holding the heel. It also means subplanar. It's the one that comes after. That's what it means. But yeah, supplemental. Yeah, that's where that word comes from. So anyway, so Jacob is holding on to his brother's heel, right? Like, you ain't getting away yet. I ain't done. Right? So his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. They were 40 when he got married. It took 20 years of him pleading to God, please let her have children. Yeah, it's, oh, shoot.
Score is 20.
I can't get those.
I'll get it. No, I'll get it.
Thank you. Sorry about this, people. Okay. So, Genesis 25. So yes. So it means, what was your question? Three score. Right. So you know the famous Gettysburg Address, right? 80 years. Thank you. She said 20. That's what threw me off, right? Because it's from 1776 to 1864. That's 80. Okay, so literally that's 80. I can't do math without having a pencil. Yeah, 87 years, right? So yeah, that's what that means. Again, Old English, right? That was the way it was looked at back then. So he was 60 when she bore them, right? That's the twins, right? Now, 27. When the boys grew up, Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, a strong man of the field.
It don't say strong.
And Esau was a man of the field, while Jacob, a quiet man, dwelling in tents. Does not mean he's a wimp. It does not mean that.
No, he the one that's being
Okay? Now, just keep that thought in your head. Here we go. 28. Isaac loved Esau, even though he tried to beat him up in the womb, right? Because he ate.
No, Isaac didn't try to beat up Esau in the wrong.
Oh, good catch.
Isaac
loved Esau, his son. Sorry. I jumped ahead of myself. You'll see in a minute. Isaac loved Esau because he ate his game. Isaac loved the food that Esau would bring home. Stop. Did Esau have to go and hunt for food?
No.
Why?
Isaac had everything.
Isaac got everything from Abraham. That's a point a lot of people miss. They think, well, he had to hunt for the family. No, he didn't. He did it for fun. And he was good at it. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Isaac loved to eat Esau's game, right? But Rebekah loved Jacob.
It always happens that way.
See, I was even going to say, now I bet you somebody's going to say, Mama's boy. Yep. We don't know that for sure, but watch what happens next. 29. Once when Jacob was cooking stew. Yeah. I can't find my markings for it. Yes. That's what I'm looking for, but I didn't mark it. Right. Jacob sod pottage. Right. Yeah. So Jacob is in the kitchen cooking. Okay? No. It's really good because watch what it says. Once when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field and he was exhausted. And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of that red stew, for I am exhausted." Right? We good with that? Yeah. Red wants red stew. Hairy red man wants red stew. Right? That's Esau. Okay. Therefore, his name then was called, it doesn't say that, but then it says, therefore his name was called Edom. Now,
Edom.
Right. Do you know what we think of when we say the word Edom? No. That's Edom. But Edom,
That's what that sounds like. Edom.
isn't that a cheese?
Ew.
And what color is the rind on that cheese? Red. I just always thought that was funny.
So now who changed his name?
The people. The people called him Edom then.
It's not necessarily a name change like you would think. It's like a nickname.
Right. A nickname. Very good. And in the ESV, it's in parentheses, so it's like an afterthought. So then 31. Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright now." What is a birthright? Who gets the inheritance? The oldest child. Remember, I brought it up that Ishmael should have gotten everything of Abraham's, and instead it went to Isaac. Now, Isaac's son Jacob is trying to tell his older brother, you want some of my food? Sell me your birthright.
Really?
Yeah.
For a bite of food? Like,
Look what he says. Esau said, "I am about to die. Of what use is a birthright to me? I'm hungry. You feed me. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me." Right? For those of you that catch that reference. Anyway, so Jacob said, "Swear to me now." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob for a bowl of hairy
it wasn't
soup.
even a pot. It was a bowl. My lordy, what it needed.
It's going to explain more of it here in a second, but could have been the big bowl, Fred Flintstone bowl. But, that's what she said. Yep. So, okay. So Esau is so hungry he gives away his birthright for the food that his brother cooked from the meat that he killed.
Couldn't he just go somewhere and get something else?
He is the stronger one. He should be able to do any of it.
Go fix a sandwich right.
Look at this next verse, though. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew. What?
Wasn't even meat.
Right, lentil, beans, right,
That
peas.
is disgusting.
Wait. Yeah, some of them are. Some of them are not good. But anyway, then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank and rose and went on his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
What he drank.
It doesn't say. Now, so so here they are. They're wealthy people. You know, he could have stopped at Choney's.
Oh, don't even talk about it.
Right. Yeah, stop down Big E's, get you a hot dog. That's right. Anyway, but he gave away his birthright for something to eat. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie, but it says that it said red meat. Okay.
It said red side porridge,
Okay.
right?
So why did it call it that one?
We don't know what was in it. We know that it was bread and lentils, which are beans, right? But it could have been like chili. Speaking of which, do I want to make chili Sunday? Anyway. Yeah, some of you haven't experienced my chili. And Mom, she said, is it hot? Well, I make a mild, which still has some heat, and some that make us really wish we hadn't had it.
My mom just looked up.
I didn't tell her which one was which the first day, and she accidentally got some of the hot stuff. So anyway, it's good. Oh, man, it's good. Sorry, Tim. Hope you can make it. He loves my chili.
No, we will not be able to make it.
I don't think he'll eat chili
Not
after
after
surgery.
that surgery, no.
I'm being nice to my
We
friend.
love you,
Anyway.
Tim, but
But
Oh, I can freeze it because these people won't eat it. I can do that. Anyway, so here's a couple things to think about. Whose birthright, or who gave the birthright to whom? So Isaac's birthright belonged to Ishmael, but was given to him by Abraham because God said, that is your son.
yeah.
Okay, now listen to this. Oh, this is going to make people mad. God gave Jacob the birthright, but Esau pushed his way past in the womb. Therefore, Jacob had to get it back. And he got it back because it was God's will that Jacob have the birthright. Remember, in the beginning means everything's already in place, right? All the way down the line through David to Jesus is already in place. Jacob is the one that gives birth through the women to,
No, we men.
yes, we'll see in a week or two, to the 12 tribes of Israel, right?
Oh, that's
Yes, that's the daddy.
you gotta think that same little picture
Yep,
and I still think my
Esau,
Esau is.
right? Esau is now Edom, and Jacob,
I don't.
and Jacob's name will be changed to Israel.
So what?
Israel. That's why the 12 tribes of Israel means the 12 sons of Jacob. See? Well, wait. You can when you're married.
Fred?
I think we need to get her.
Huh? I do.
You got several.
So let me tell you a funny story before we go for the night. So in general, when a couple get married, it's the woman who changes her name, the man's name, right? Everybody would agree. Sometimes they hyphenate it, sometimes they don't hyphenate it, sometimes they spell the word hyphen, all that stuff, right? So it's usually the woman who changes the... Okay, fine. I worked with a lady, and if y'all ever see this, I'm just bringing it up because I still think it's funny. Her name was Gail Masterson, wonderful lady. Same birth date as me, by the way. So we have a kindred there. We had a customer whose name was Gene Tukaruk. And they got married. Gene and Gail got married. Gene changed his name from Tukaruk to Masterson. Okay? Do you know how hard it was for him to change his name? The women just sign a piece of paper, it's over, it's done. He had to go through a background check and all
It's
this.
not that easy. Or it didn't used to be before the internet.
Yeah. Now this was in 86, 85 or 86, somewhere along there.
Oh, I had to write back and forth several times.
Really? Because
No, I was taking it for my baby name too.
wow. Same with when my wife and I got married. It was that easy. Oh, you. Whoops! I almost said that out loud. I'm going to say it out loud because I still think it's funny. Are you one of those mail order brides? Is that what that? I can't help it. That was an easy setup.
That was a deep one. Oh, Lordy. I didn't see that one coming.
Okay. Well, you know me. You know me. I can't help myself, right? That's like I was watching. Okay, so you guys know that I'm part of the Broken Chains JC group, right? That's the riding arm of Celebrate Recovery. The president of it's not a club. The president of the group, his name's Jeff Stoltz over in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Great guy. Love him to death. Had to go to Florida for a few days. So he's got his pickup truck pulling a trailer with his motorcycle on it because he does all of his routes and goes out and he spreads hope for Celebrate Recovery and stuff like that. Well, the whole bed of his pickup truck is filled with those plastic buckets called totes. He put that picture online, and I can't help it. Just one tote over the line, sweet Jesus. I couldn't help it. It's just one of those things. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. I have a question.
Of course you do. And that's what I love.
2513, the firstborn. How come his name is one way up there, but right here it's different?
It's the way it's translated. It means the same thing.
Oh, why didn't you think of that? Is that the same as the H one?
These are the names of the Ishmaelites, right?
On the 15th, 2515, the first one.
Hadad.
The H one? Yeah, how come it's changed? In this?
Once again, it's just a translation. Right.
Peter and
Petra's all Peter.
What'd you say?
It's just a different. Nathan says it a different way.
Peter and Petra.
Like in Italy, it's Petra.
It's just
Peter.
Don't
Yeah.
go to Italy then. Not
well,
the name.
and it's Simon in
Right.
in
Right.
Hebrew, right? All right, we good with all that? I told you he's going to have fun tonight if you'd show up. Yes, sir. Yeah. Off camera, he's saying that stew, that red pot of meat, must be better than potted meat. Yeah. Well, let's see. No, they wouldn't because that would be pork, and they won't eat pork.
No spam for Esau.
French fried taters and potted meat. Boy, I can't tell you the number of times I remember my dad frying spam. Yeah. Or we was out on the fishing boat and him popping a can of Vienna sausages, right? That and crackers.
Really
Yeah.
makes, fried rice with spam.
Oh, yes, it's good.
I've
Oh.
never tried it.
Okay, y'all making me hungry now. All right, so if that's it for tonight, you got another question? We haven't got to some of this yet. Those.
I know, what's that?
Okay, this is Abram's dad, Terah, right?
Oh, I didn't even know he had a daddy.
Yeah, because we
course he
listen.
had
Abraham's brother Nahor.
Got a brother?
Nahor. Sorry, my fault. Is the one who fathered Bethuel, which is Rebekah's father. That's how Isaac married his cousin. I think you weren't here that week. We talked about that.
Whoa, bro.
Now that's
No, we haven't got to that story yet. Yes, that's either next week or week after.
I
Yeah.
have another question. And I'm sorry to say, but what happened to the other two brothers?
One of the brothers, Abraham, Nahor, and the other one died in front of the rest of them. Doesn't say how. It just said he died.
Which one?
Yes, Abraham's brothers, two brothers, Nahor and
Aaron.
Haran died in front of them. We don't know how, but through Nahor is how we get Rebekah. So that's why Isaac married his cousin Rebekah, because Abraham sent his eldest servant to his kinsman's land. That 1,000-mile journey he went on and picked Rebekah to come and be Isaac's wife.
The brother. That's
Okay,
Lot.
that's Lot and Abraham, and Lot is the other brother's son.
That's
Right,
that one.
right,
The one that died.
right. Yeah. So that's Abraham and his nephew had too many cattle for the little area they were in. So Abraham said to Lot, "Take what you want," and that's when he moved all the way down south and just kept moving until he moved into Sodom, right? And then he was sitting on the gates of Sodom, which meant that he was on the city council that said who could and who couldn't come in the town, right? When the two strangers came that caused the destruction of Sodom, right? Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Who's the mama?
Who's not the mama?
Not the mama. You know that story.
Who's the mama of who?
It says the daddy. Do they know the mama?
I don't know if it actually says that or not. We'd have to go back and look. Remember, lineages in this time frame was all male dominated. So we know the males, until we get to there was one before Sarah, yeah, right, yeah, and then Rebecca, right.
Oh, the first female you hear about is Eve. After that, the next one that you hear named Sarah.
Right, because the rest of them are just the wife of, the wife of, the wife of.
Hagar till after you heard about Sarah.
Yeah,
Because she was a concubine.
We don't go right into Rebecca and Hagar.
Okay.
She's a side.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the cameras off for tonight so we can do our personal private prayer request. However, I hope you see how much fun we have in here in TUBBS. This is what we like, because by doing this and having a good time, you will remember, you'll learn better.
Hey, man, I passed one of these tests.
Can you tell us what it is?
Hey,
Right.
man, one question.
All right.
Hey, man,
Hey, there's
So-
always next week and the week after. You never know.
keep that.
The 40? Yeah, you will. You'll hear it again. All right, so we can see you guys Sunday morning for Matthew, I forget where we are. Anyway.
12.
Matthew 12, thank you. Okay.
You on top of this. Quit getting the questions right.
No.
And that was not a good mark.
Anyway, we'll see you guys. If you have any questions, send them to me. Y'all have a good time. We're going to do our prayer request here in just a minute.